Hi, my name is Todd Bones, and this is the assignment number 6 video submission for Coed6270 Advanced Player Development. And my topic today for the session is defending in the opponent's half. I've also provided this PowerPoint presentation if it's easier to see some of the video along the way or some of the graphics. So for this session, we're looking at the players that are involved, the attacking and the midfield players, so the 7, the 9, the 11, the 10, the 8, and the 6, so the midfielders and the attacking players. And who we're going to be designing this for is my high school girls team. And I think it's important to know that we're an urban school district. I'm a middle school teacher in the district. And these are players that don't have the same type of experience as, some of the more suburban Pennsylvania, that we know the suburban and South Jersey players do. So just important to keep that in mind as far as the tactical things that I'm preparing. What we're doing today is defending in the opponent's half. We want to emphasize the communication between the defenders, what it means to pressure the first defender, what it means to cover and balance as the other defenders, second and third defenders, and how are we going to prevent penetrating passes, forward passes. Where are we doing this? In the opponent's half of the field. When we lose the ball, we lose possession of the ball in the attacking half if the opponent is starting the attack by building out of the back, so in their defensive half. Why are we doing this? To improve our ability to defend, especially in those big spaces when the attacking team, our opponent, has a lot of space to move forward, and to prevent those penetrating passes and ultimately to win the ball back and go score goals. So really, why are we doing this? In this first video, you're going to see an example where we've cleared the ball out of the back. We're the team in white here. And we want to transition to defending in the middle of the field. This is about the halfway line here. And as you see this roll through, our attacking player here and this defender here, this central defender, plays the ball, comes across to play that cleared ball. And you'll notice this attacking player just simply overplays the ball, doesn't organize, doesn't communicate with the other defenders in the picture, and essentially allows that player to go forward with the ball at their feet. Okay, so it plays through. She really overplays the ball, doesn't communicate verbally or non-verbally with the other defenders, and now simply she's out of the play. So is the second defender, and now the third defender is, in this case, is coming to try to pressure the ball. So that's a poor example there of us defending. In this second example now, we are the maroon team. I know it's difficult to see, but maybe on the PowerPoint it'll help you. And the opponent is in white, and they're going to start building the ball out the back. The goaltender is going to distribute the ball to this left side defender or midfielder, probably defender. And again, we over-pursue the ball. We're not communicating with each other to get proper cover of the space and proper pursuit of the ball. Okay, you see the goaltender sees this player out wide, distributes the ball, and we again over pursue, and now the ball is quickly moved through the middle of the field with 1, 2, and then a third pass switching the point of attack, and now they are on, have us obviously recovering our back four defenders, putting them under stress. The session breakdown. So I'm going to start with a warm-up, obviously, and that's our FIFA 11 Plus. And our first activity has two phases. They're going to go for about 7 minutes, and they'll be moderate in intensity. We have a water break, 3 minutes for transition. Our second activity, about 20 minutes and moderate to high intensity. And then another transition with water. And activity 3 then is our culminating activity, and that's, we want to really stress high intensity there. Then we'll have a summary, a question and answer discussion with our players, kind of an exit slip, things we want for them to, let us know prior to them leaving that they got it, they understand the concepts, and then a little bit of homework, which total about 90 minutes. Our session warm-up, 15 to 20 minutes, is the FIFA 11 Plus program, and our girls do a really great job of that. They're really into that, do a great work there. Okay, our first phase activity. It's going to be in our defending in the opponent's half. Okay, so in this case, we are stressing, we're coaching the blue players here in a 4v2. And there's 2 set up here. And what we are doing is group defending. We want to stress the communication. We're trying to prevent the opponent from getting forward passes. So in this example, and I don't think this field really dimensionally for the size of the players, the sports session planner, it's not correct in the dimensions. We have a 20 meter wide and 30 meter deep space, which the space I'm in is 8 meters. And I don't know if you can really tell on camera, but for one player, we're essentially doubling and a half this space here. So we really want to stress the wide space. And in this here, really the idea here is for the attacking players to make that forward pass, okay, forward pass. So we really want to stress in this activity, these 2 defenders are communicating verbally and non-verbally to try to prevent that forward pass to these forward players here. And then, of course, try to win the ball, forcing an error, a poor pass, maybe through the channel, the split pass, they can win that ball. Okay, so during this session and all this year, I've really been stressing the communication between the first defender, the one pressuring the ball, and that second defender who's covering the space behind that player or to the left or to the right behind. And that's what this is meant to bring out. For the defending players, they may send one player into that zone. And if they feel they can win the ball after a poor first touch, they're encouraged to go for that. But really, they're looking to communicate to the second defender, hey, this is the space where I want you to be, so we can pressure them to push the ball to the side, to make the lateral pass. Okay. In the second phase of this, we lose the zones and essentially comes a 4v2 where players are free to move about the zone. Here we're looking for the attacking players to make that long penetrating pass, so they're forcing the defenders to defend against that. Okay, and then we're looking for the defenders obviously to deny that forward pass, force mistakes to gain possession, and then we say, if you dispossess, you're going to dribble to the end line, whichever end line that may be. Okay, preferably, obviously, we want them to win it and go forward. So we would stress that, hey, if you win the ball, go to the attacking side, attack the goal essentially. But again, we're stressing the spacing between these 2 players, the communication between them, organization as a team of 2. Okay, in our second activity, we have a 4v4 plus the goalkeeper. And again, we're in the opponent's half. Again, proportionally, this is not correct. We're about 40 wide and 30 deep, a large space for 8 players. And if we felt it wasn't enough, I've done this before, and it's substantial for our girls to cover that space. So it brings out exactly what we're looking for, which is intensity on the defense to not only cover the spaces for the pressuring player, but for the others to try to organize and cover the larger space, preventing those wide balls and the penetrating balls down the middle. So again, all distribution would start from the goaltender, okay, stressing us, pressuring an opponent who's building out of the back, trying to bring out, hey, the pressuring defender needs to communicate with the second and third defenders, fourth defender to organize to win the ball back. And then obviously the attacking players are going to the two wide goals, and then there are 2 counter goals there, the yellow cones. Our final activity is a 7v7, a half field or slightly extended half field. I think half field would be fine. Again, I just did it proportionally on the session planner just because it didn't look right. But what we are stressing is defending in your opponent's half, group defending, communication between all the players involved on how to win the ball back. And then the intensity of this would obviously be very high. We might have 1 or 2 substitutes. We have a roster of 20, 21 now, and unfortunately we only get about an average of 16 at practice. So this would be a full squad on a normal day, and they would be going at it. And it's really hard to have high intensity practice. I know I'm veering off here, but it's hard to have high intensity practices because, for example, we've had 2 weeks in a row where we've had 3 games, and we had 4 games in 7 days. So it's just a dreadful season. But I digress. So this would be the culminating activity. We'd really do a couple stops. I typically do 3 stops, natural stoppages, where I may recreate the scene, kind of paint the picture. This player was here, this player was here. Okay, what happened when the ball moved to the side? You moved this way. So really stressing that movement of defenders to isolate the ball to one side, maybe a weaker defender, a defender on the left side that isn't left-footed. Can we attack that player? Can we force the ball to the weaker player, and then we can win the ball more easily because that player isn't comfortable with the ball at their feet. And I really talked to them throughout the season about that. Let's find the weakest defenders, and let's really make their job much more difficult. Okay. And then we always end with some sort of group discussion, guided discovery. I would ask the girls, how did that go? What are the things that we learned, essentially? What type of communication did you use with your other defenders? Were you pointing to your left? Were you pointing to your right? Were you yelling at them? Those types of questions. And homework in this case would be, let's watch a game. And when we watch the game, let's look at when the one team is, just pick one team that you want to be. When the opposing team is bringing the ball out of their half, right, their defending half, what is the other team doing? How are they organizing? Are they sitting back, or are they pressing really high? Are they trying to win the ball right away, or are they maybe just organizing so that the team can't move forward, make big long or short penetrating passes through the lines. And kind of think about that and how we can apply that. We are a very fast team, so we have success with high pressing in some cases when we're about equal competition. However, our technical skills are not very good, and they understand that. So when we're up against a very highly technical team, which we are mostly, we need to sit back a little bit more, organize ourselves, get the space compact, and look for them to make a mistake in a poor pass. So those are some of the ideas. Okay, so thank you. That was my presentation. Please feel free to follow up with any questions. Thank you.